So guys, it's David here, your favorite YouTuber on YouTube, and I hope you guys are doing well this weekend and like always are doing better than yesterday. So today I just want to touch on the topic of belief just briefly because it is so important to have belief in yourself if you want to act, if you want to change, if you want to go outside and experience a new lifestyle for yourself. And I say this because when someone, or perhaps in this scenario yourself, loses belief in your own abilities or what you can accomplish, then you won't think that you deserve better. It is literally just as simple as that. And I would argue that it is better for someone to have overt belief, or in a way close to ignorance, because in that way they will be overconfident so that acting at least will be possible. And yes, I'm not saying that when you go into something new you're not going to be hit with the toll or challenges of the actual difficult things you have to do in this path to change, but to have a slight ignorance to your overconfidence and overt belief at least puts you in a position of you trying something new. So if you give me the scenario to be disbelief and overtly belief, I'll pick to be always to have more confidence in myself than to question if I can accomplish greatness. Because I'm sure you guys all know by this point, and if you guys don't know, then honestly, your limitation is set by yourself. And that limitation, in majority of the cases, is your disbelief. And an example I would give you guys recently is I am on a mini cut right now. It is 2 weeks in. Now, when I set the plan for my mini cut, I had belief in myself. I had belief, although I have not tackled such an extreme calorie deficit, I had belief. Because I am pretty confident in going to the gym, working out, and making my diet plans. And most importantly, I have cut before. Although not a mini cut, a very intense short cut, I had done a prolonged cut. So I know exactly what to expect, the pain, the will and grit I have to push through eventually to see my body lean out. And I had overconfidence. And by my belief in myself that this is possible, when I written down the plan and stick with it, change was literally instant, right? Literally instant. I locked in like there's no turning back. However, such discipline and grit had been pretty difficult in my coding journey because I want to tackle on this humongous project, right? Something I have not done in my whole entire life, and I'm not the best coder. I still, in a way, have imposter syndrome. I have disbelief, and showing up to my commitment has been a trouble lately. So whenever I write down a plan or perhaps things I want to do for that aspect, when my belief is low in myself, in my own competence, then acting is a bit more difficult. In a way, I would spend more time thinking about whether I am qualified than just putting myself out there and doing it. So in this case, ignorance will be bliss. To have more ignorance will mean that I would not be overthinking about the situation and just acting. And sometimes, guys, really, it all comes down to you acting. If you can act, if you can show up, just doing that will allow you to experience and face your fears. And sometimes you realize that all the fears and stories you have been telling to yourself in your imaginary head is nothing compared to reality. For the most cases, all the fears and doubt we have made up by ourselves are actually far worse than the things and challenges we have to face head on. Sometimes it is not that scary, but we always compound the scariness by 10x somehow in our mind. And really, that is the way we stop ourselves from change, right? To make it much worse than it is, to be over dramatic, because that will keep us normal. That will keep you stuck. So belief is such an important thing for one person to have. And you may say, David, how do I conjure this feeling of belief? How do I believe in something if I don't believe in it? And really, I just have to ask you guys, why did you not believe that you are capable or that you can do something in the first place? I would say this is the first thing you should ask yourself. And you should really go deep into this question, not just give yourself a surface, sugarcoating solution or answer. Like, be truthful and sincere with yourself. Why do you think that you cannot become great? Was it because somebody told you so? Was it because you've grown up not knowing any better? Or was it simply because you actually have some physical or perhaps limitations stopping you from becoming this person you want to become? And when you understand just the surface or just a little bit, a taste of where your disbelief is rooted from, I urge you, or I simply urge you to understand that whatever it is that you are telling yourself that is the reason of you not becoming the person you want to become, just understand that that is not true. That is not true. But rather you said that to shield yourself, to hide yourself from the truth. And majority of the cases, that truth is you can. You can be the person you want to be. You can do the thing you want to do. But simply you made it impossible in your mind because you are hiding away from something. You're protecting yourself from something that you have not faced and you don't want to face again, perhaps. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys had learned something from this today. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.